Idioms are expressions with figurative meanings different from their literal words. They are commonly used in everyday language to convey ideas in a more vivid and imaginative way. Using idioms not only enhances your fluency, but also showcases your advanced understanding of the language. A penny for your thoughts, meaning to ask someone what they are thinking about. You look lost in thought. A penny for your thoughts? She was staring out the window, lost in thought. A penny for your thoughts, he joked. A penny for your thoughts, he said, as he noticed her thoughtful expression. Actions speak louder than words. Meaning, what someone actually does means more than what they say they will do. He said he would help, but actions speak louder than words. She always promised to change, but actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Show me your commitment through your actions. Add insult to injury, meaning to make a bad situation worse. Not only did he forget my birthday, but he also criticized my gift, adding insult to injury. They charged me extra for shipping, adding insult to injury after the long wait. She failed the test, and the teacher scolded her in front of the class, adding insult to injury. Bite the bullet, meaning to face a difficult or unpleasant situation courageously. She knew she had to bite the bullet and tell him the truth. The team had to bite the bullet and accept the defeat. He bit the bullet and apologized for his mistake. Break the ice, meaning to start a conversation or a social interaction. He told a joke to break the ice at the party. She broke the ice with her new co-workers by asking about their weekend. They played a game to break the ice at the family reunion. Burn the midnight oil, meaning to work late into the night. She burned the midnight oil to finish the project before the deadline. They had to burn the midnight oil to prepare for the exam. He burned the midnight oil to complete the report for the meeting. Caught between a rock and a hard place, meaning to be in a difficult situation with no good options. They were caught between a rock and a hard place when they had to choose between two job offers. She's caught between a rock and a hard place. She wants to study abroad, but her family needs her at home. He's caught between a rock and a hard place with the conflicting demands of work and family. Cost an arm and a leg, meaning to be very expensive. The new car cost them an arm and a leg. The designer dress looked great, but it cost an arm and a leg. Traveling during peak season can cost an arm and a leg. Cry over spilled milk, meaning to be upset over something that has already happened and cannot be changed. There's no use crying over spilled milk. The important thing is to learn from the mistake. She was upset about missing the train, but he reminded her not to cry over spilled milk. He spilled coffee on his shirt and sighed, realizing it was no use crying over spilled milk. Cut to the chase, meaning to get to the point, to stop wasting time. Instead of rambling, let's cut to the chase and discuss the main issues. She cut to the chase and asked him directly about his intentions. Cutting to the chase, he told them they needed to improve their performance. Cutting corners, meaning to do something poorly or take shortcuts, especially to save time or money. They finished the project quickly by cutting corners, but the quality suffered. He always cuts corners when he's cooking, and it shows in the final dish. Cutting corners on safety regulations led to the accident. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, meaning to not risk everything on a single venture or opportunity. Invest wisely and diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. She decided to apply to multiple colleges. She didn't want to put all her eggs in one basket. He diversified his investments to avoid putting all his eggs in one basket. Drive someone up the wall, meaning to annoy or irritate someone greatly. His constant tapping on the desk was driving her up the wall. The noise from the construction site drove the residents up the wall. Her perfectionism drives her co-workers up the wall. Elbow grease, meaning hard physical effort, manual labor. They cleaned the garage with some elbow grease before the party. He applied some elbow grease to finish painting the fence. The project required a lot of elbow grease to complete on time. Fit as a fiddle, meaning in good physical health. Despite his age, he's as fit as a fiddle and still runs marathons. She exercises daily and eats well, so she's fit as a fiddle. The doctor said his heart is strong. He's fit as a fiddle. Give the benefit of the doubt, meaning to believe someone's statement without proof, to trust someone. Even though she was late, he gave her the benefit of the doubt that there was traffic. He gave his co-worker the benefit of the doubt regarding the mistake. They decided to give him the benefit of the doubt and accept his explanation. Go down in flames, meaning to fail spectacularly or disastrously. Their business venture went down in flames after just a year. The team's attempt to win the championship went down in flames in the final game. The movie production went down in flames due to budget issues. Hit the nail on the head, meaning to describe exactly what is causing a situation or problem. She hit the nail on the head when she identified the main issue. His analysis hit the nail on the head and the project improved. The consultant hit the nail on the head with her recommendations. In the heat of the moment, meaning acting impulsively without thinking due to strong emotions. In the heat of the moment, she said things she didn't mean. He acted in the heat of the moment and regretted his decision later. In the heat of the moment, they made a hasty decision. Jump on the bandwagon, meaning to join a popular trend or activity. After the movie became popular, everyone jumped on the bandwagon and started watching it. They jumped on the bandwagon and started using the latest social media platform. Investors jumped on the bandwagon and bought stocks in the new tech company. Keep something at bay, meaning to prevent something unpleasant from happening or from coming too close. Regular exercise helps keep illness at bay. They used insect repellent to keep mosquitoes at bay. Financial planning can help keep debt at bay. Let sleeping dogs lie, meaning to avoid restarting a conflict or stirring up trouble. He decided to let sleeping dogs lie rather than bring up past grievances. The issue had settled down, so she chose to let sleeping dogs lie. They agreed to let sleeping dogs lie and move on. Make a long story short, meaning to summarize something briefly. Make a long story short, they decided to sell the house and move. She took forever to explain, but to make a long story short, they missed the train. The meeting was long, but to make a long story short, they agreed on the budget. Miss the boat, meaning to miss an opportunity, to be too late to take advantage of something. I wanted to invest, but I missed the boat on that stock. She missed the boat by not applying for the scholarship in time. They missed the boat on getting tickets to the concert. Needle in a haystack, meaning something that is very hard or impossible to find. Finding her lost earring in the sand was like looking for a needle in a haystack. Locating the error in the code was like finding a needle in a haystack. With so many options, finding the right candidate was like finding a needle in a haystack. On the ball, meaning alert, competent and efficient. She's always on the ball and never misses a deadline. He was on the ball during the presentation and answered every question. Being on the ball is essential in a fast-paced environment. Out of the blue, meaning unexpectedly, without warning. She received a job offer out of the blue. The email from an old friend came out of the blue. His sudden resignation was out of the blue for everyone. Play devil's advocate, meaning to argue against an idea or viewpoint for the sake of debate or to see its weaknesses. She likes to play devil's advocate during discussions to explore different perspectives. He played devil's advocate to test the strength of their proposal. Playing devil's advocate can lead to better decision-making. Pull someone's leg, meaning to tease or joke with someone in a playful way. He said he won the lottery, but he was just pulling my leg. She told them there was a ghost in the attic, pulling their legs. Don't take him seriously, he's just pulling your leg. Read between the lines, meaning to infer or understand the hidden meaning in a communication. She read between the lines and realized he wasn't happy. Reading between the lines of the contract, she found some hidden fees. When he said he was tired, she read between the lines and knew something was wrong. Ride shotgun, meaning to sit in the front passenger seat of a vehicle. She always rides shotgun when they go on road trips. He prefers to ride shotgun so he can navigate. Who wants to ride shotgun on the way to the beach? Rule of thumb, meaning a practical and approximate guideline or principle. As a rule of thumb, she saves 20% of her income. The rule of thumb for cooking pasta is 1 litre of water per 100 grams of pasta. A good rule of thumb is to arrive at least 15 minutes early for appointments. See eye to eye, meaning to agree, to have the same viewpoint. They don't always see eye to eye on politics. We need to see eye to eye on this issue before making a decision. Despite their differences, they see eye to eye on most parenting issues. Spill the beans, meaning to reveal a secret or information that was supposed to be kept confidential. She accidentally spilled the beans about the surprise party. He promised not to spill the beans about their plans. They threatened to spill the beans if he didn't confess. Take with a grain of salt, meaning to be skeptical about the truth or accuracy of something. Take his stories with a grain of salt. He likes to exaggerate. The news report seemed sensational. I took it with a grain of salt. She advised them to take the online reviews with a grain of salt. Under the weather, meaning to feel ill or not in good health. She's feeling under the weather, so she stayed home. He's been under the weather since he caught a cold. Feeling under the weather, she decided to cancel her plans. Up in the air, meaning uncertain, not yet decided or settled. Their vacation plans are still up in the air. The future of the project is up in the air pending funding. With so many changes, everything feels up in the air. Veg out, meaning to relax and do nothing, to be lazy. After a long week, she likes to veg out in front of the TV. They decided to veg out on the beach during their vacation. He spent the weekend vegging out and reading. Walk on eggshells, meaning to be very cautious in one's actions or words to avoid upsetting someone. She walked on eggshells around her boss after the argument. They walked on eggshells around their sensitive friend. He felt like he was walking on eggshells during the tense meeting. You can't judge a book by its cover, meaning you should not form an opinion about someone or something based solely on appearance. He seemed quiet, but you can't judge a book by its cover. He's very funny. The house looked old from the outside, but inside it was beautifully renovated. She learned not to judge a book by its cover after meeting him. 0 hour, meaning the time when a planned activity or event is scheduled to begin. They were ready for action at 0 hour. The concert's 0 hour is 8 p.m. 0 hour for the launch was set for dawn. A leopard can't change its spots, meaning people cannot change their basic nature, especially if it is bad. He's been unreliable for years. A leopard can't change its spots. She said she'd stop gossiping, but a leopard can't change its spots. They hoped he'd improve, but a leopard can't change its spots. Back to square one, meaning to go back to the beginning because a plan or effort has failed. After the setback, they had to go back to square one. The project didn't work out, so it's back to square one. They had to start over from square one. Beat around the bush, meaning to avoid talking about something directly. Stop beating around the bush and tell me what you really think. He didn't answer the question, just beat around the bush. Instead of addressing the issue, she beat around the bush. Behind the 8 ball, meaning in a difficult or unfavourable position. They're behind the 8 ball financially after the unexpected expenses. He's behind the 8 ball with his project deadline approaching. They felt behind the 8 ball after losing their main client. Better late than never, meaning it's better to do something late than to never do it at all. He finally apologized, saying better late than never. She arrived at the party late, but better late than never. They finished the repairs late, but better late than never. Bite off more than you can chew, meaning to take on more responsibilities or commitments than one can manage. He agreed to too many projects and bit off more than he could chew. She bit off more than she could chew by signing up for so many classes. They bit off more than they could chew with the ambitious timeline. break a leg, meaning a way to wish someone good luck, especially before a performance. Break a leg in your audition tomorrow. They told him to break a leg before the big game. Break a leg on your presentation. You've prepared well. Burn bridges, meaning to damage a relationship or connection, usually irreparably. He burned bridges with his former colleagues by leaving abruptly. They warned her not to burn bridges when she quit her job. Burning bridges with suppliers could hurt the business. Call it a day, meaning to decide to stop working for the rest of the day. They finished the meeting early and decided to call it a day. After the long day, they called it a day and went home. She completed her tasks and called it a day.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. Good luck with your learning.